Hi, my name is Terri Bea-Sopher, and this speech is for my speech class, public speaking class. And the purpose for this speech is so that you might learn some vital tools to use to prevent arguments with your spouse. And so the topic of my speech is to how to properly and biblically ignore your spouse. So at the end of my speech, I pray that you effectively learn how to avoid potential heated arguments by, instead of giving the verbal reactions to some of the things that your spouse may say to you, I want to give you some nonverbal tricks of the trade, so to speak. Three of the things I'm going to teach you or talk about or give you some information about is the silent situational snooze. Number one is the silent situational snooze. You'll want to learn how to do that when your spouse says something crazy. The second thing is how to quickly hear what they say and then quietly slip into a coma. Yeah, you'll hear what they say quickly, but then quietly slip into a safe, peaceful coma. The last trick that I want to teach you is to go into the baffled bride stare. So you'll want to go into the baffled bride stare. This will save your marriage. If you just go into the baffled bride stare as your first line of defense, you will have defeated the enemy who will try to come against your marriage. These proven methods can be used in place of your traditional sassy comebacks and heated words that provoke and challenge your spouse, and then you two can have a nice, peaceful, relaxing rest of the evening. The reason we need these life-affirming tools is because so often husbands and wives find themselves in conflict and over some verbal issue, that if you would just use these nonverbal cues to effectively allow each other time to respond instead of react, this cuts down on misinterpretation and misunderstanding. So if you use the nonverbal expressions, it gives you time to think about the proper answer to the matter. Marriage is the fabric of our country and God's plan for humanity. And I want to give you the tools to mend what's been broken and heal what's been hurt. Some common misconceptions are that when your husband does something to upset you, that you should immediately respond to what he said. So I pray that some of these things that I'm giving you today will be helpful. Here are a few examples, and then here are a few samples of the situational snooze, the quiet coma, and the baffled bride.
Hey, I know you just got in, but where's the TV remote?
So as you can see, when your husband asks you a question, you just walk through the door and he asks you a question that you know you have no answer for, okay? Then you can just give him the situational snooze stare, and this will make him think that what you're doing is thinking about where that could potentially be, and then he'll give you some time to think. He'll walk away and let you think that thing through.
It's really fresh fish. It's still flopping on the plate. This doesn't seem like how my mom makes it.
As you can see, I'm sure he did not mean to say it the way he said it. And so instead of giving him the tongue pop and the neck roll, instead of doing that, you effectively disguise your real thoughts and your real feelings of dismemberment and saying something that you might regret about his mama. So instead of doing that, if you use my tools, you will be able to keep away the spirit of offense, and there won't be a fight in your house that night.
If you only took $20 out of my wallet, how you coming home with 40 pair of shoes?
See, if you would just take a few minutes to just give him the baffled bride stare, then you don't have to go into a long, drawn out speech about how every dime he got belonged to you anyway. So, I hope that these tools have helped you. I hope I've given you some good information. I pray that you have learned something that you can use in your everyday relationship with your spouse. In conclusion, if you follow these simple principles, you will have prevented some of the things that the Bible says ruins relationships. For example, answering prematurely. The Bible says in Proverbs 18:13 to answer before listening, that is your folly and shame. If you answer a matter and don't do it in a calm way, then the Bible says in Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turn away wrath, but harsh words stir up anger. So you have to learn how to speak in a calm way and answer a matter in a way that will not be grievous and stir up strife. And finally, if you are slow to speak, that means if you don't run out there and just say the first thing that pops into your head and flies out your mouth. The Bible says in James 1:19, know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. This is Terri L, and this is for my public speaking class. And I pray that you were helped, and may God richly bless you.